Okay, y'all, so brows are in session. So I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills product in the shade Ebony. I'm just taking some of that product out of the jar and using my Wet n Wild angle brush and taking some of that product. And I like to start at the tail of my brow and sketch out the tail of my brow and then start to fill in the front of the brow by using light strokes to fill in my brow. Kind of just start sketching it out. And y'all, a little bit of this product goes a long way. I like to take some of it out of the jar and either place it on my hand or in the lid of the jar and use it like that, because if you pick up too much of this product, your brows will get they will start looking like really dark, almost black. um so right now I just like to like I said, I like to start at the tail of my brow, then go under my arch, and then go on top. That's easiest for me. So as I just start filling out my brows, I like to go back and fill in like the sparse areas where they look really thin, and just start like filling it into my liking and getting the shade I want, also like that thickness and that fullness. It's like my brows to look kind of like full. So I just start filling it in, and whatever left on my brush is how I like to fill in the beginning of my brows. So that's what I'm doing, just kind of filling everything in. And don't worry, y'all, like if the brow starts to look too dark, you can use the spoolie of any one of your brow pencils and just take out some of the product. So just start filling everything in till you get the shaping that you like in a desired color. And we're going to do the same for the next brow. So just start at the tail, or you can even just sketch out your brow, the full brow, if that's what you like. But I like to start at my tail because I find that that's easiest. And once I follow the guide of my tail, it's just easier for me to follow like my arch. And another thing, y'all, what makes the brows filling out filling in your brows easy is if you keep your brows like groomed, and if that's like getting them waxed, threaded, or tweezing them, or just keeping them clean after you get them like waxed. If you just kind of like tweeze those extra hairs, that makes them easy as well to like just follow your arch. So I'm doing the same thing. Started at the tail, just follow that arch and fill that in. And I'm picking up a little product little by little and filling it in, because like I said, this product, it can get too dark. Even though I like a dark brow, but I don't like it to look black. So I just pick it up little by little, and whatever left on my brush is how I fill in the beginning of my brow with whatever left on the brush. And y'all, I'll be showing y'all how I do my brows with pomade and with a pencil. I do pomade sometimes, but I do prefer a pencil because it's a whole lot quicker. But I do wear the pomade sometimes. I prefer to wear the pomade on my brows when I'm wearing glitter looks for some reason. But a pomade is not my go-to. So right here, I'm just taking that brush and I'm just taking out some of the pomade, just kind of lightening it up a little bit. So right here, I'm picking up my products. I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear in the shade NC42 for the tail of my brow. And as you can see, I like to put my concealer down first. just kind of like to place it under the arch of my brow. Then I go back in with some of the product on my pencil. I mean on my brush, excuse me, y'all. On my brush, and then carve out my brow. That just makes it a little easier for me. It makes the brush just slide right under my brow, so it makes the carving out like really easy for me because everything is just sliding. And y'all, this brush is a dupe for the MAC 212 brush. This is the Master's Touch brush. I get these brushes from Hobby Lobby. I really like this brush. These brushes, I've been using these brushes for years. It's a painter's brush, y'all. So right here I'm using the LA Girl Pro in the shade Fawn. So I actually just started back using the MAC Pro Longwear on my brows because the shade Fawn was getting too dark for me. So I just started using these two, and I actually like the way they look. So the same thing with the Fawn, I'm just using that in the front so it can have like that gradient effect. So I'm just carving everything out. And the colors are not going to look like this, separated from each other once I blend everything in. So same thing on this brow. I'm just placing my concealer down first so that when I do get to carve the brow out, go under that arch and carve it out, it's just going to make everything like slide for me. So I like to go like right under the arch, place it down, and then kind of just carve it right out. So right here, y'all, I'm just blending everything out with my Zooeva concealer buffing brush. I really like this brush. It blends out everything really good. So I just go in and blend all of that concealer out, and like I say, like just blending both of them out, they don't look like two separate, concealers, because I just blend them all together. And I like to drag that concealer down because I can use this concealer for an eyeshadow base. So I just drag all of that down to my eyelid. So I'm just patting that in. Alright, y'all, so that's my brows using the Pomade. Alright, so here the brows using the pencil, and this is the Kiss Professional Top Brow pencil, and this is the shade Deep Dark Brunette. I love this brow pencil. So the same thing, I'm starting with my tail, sketching out at the tail and just sketching out the beginning of the brow, just following my arch, just taking light strokes. And I'm going to do the same for the top, and then once the top is sketched out, I'm going to go in and fill the brow. I like to connect the lines too at the tail of the brow. I feel like once I get that tail, it's kind of easy for me to connect everything else and kind of sketch out the rest of the brow, because once the tail is connected, it just makes everything a whole lot easier for me to see the brow once that tail is in. And even with this pencil, y'all, like this is a pretty dark pencil. Like I said, I do like my brows kind of dark, on the darker side. And I guess it's because my hair is pretty dark too. So I'm even taking out some of the product with that spoolie. And that's a good thing about these spoolies. Like over time, they collect some of the product. So sometimes when I don't even do a heavy filling, like on my brows, I can just use some of that product that's left on that spoolie and kind of just go back and forth with it and fill in the front of my brows with the product that's left on that spoolie. So the same thing here. I'm just starting with my tail and just sketching out the front and gonna make everything meet and connect. Just keep sketching it out. And then I go to the top, do the same thing. Just sketching the top out. So they were looking good to me, y'all. So same thing right here. I'm about to do the same thing, starting with the Pro Longwear in the shade in C42. I start that like in the middle towards the tail of my brow. And I'm going to use LA Girl Pro in the shade Fawn in the front of my brows. And I'm going to just carve everything out. I do like a really good clean brow, y'all. Only thing we doing the filling my brows in with a pencil. This time, y'all, I'm going to do the top and the bottom of my brows. And this is how I always wear my brows. I never just carve out the bottom of my brow and not carve out the top. I love a really, really clean brow. And I always use concealers on my brows. I never use foundation for the top of my brow. That just don't give a really clean look when I try that. That don't work for me, so I always use concealers. Um, Let me know what y'all do. Do y'all use concealer and foundation, or do y'all just use concealers, too? Let me know. Alright, y'all, so now I'm about to carve out the top of my brows, and I'm using the shade Fawn for the top of my brows. And I know this looks like a lot of concealer, y'all, but it just helps me, like I said, slide the brush across my brows. And I like to use the technique like pulling the concealer up instead of just like following the shape, turning the brush sideways, because I don't use a round brush, so that technique don't work for me. I said I was gonna try and learn to use one of those rounded brushes. Eventually I'll try, but I learned to do my brows like with a flat brush like this, and ever since I learned this way, I've been using a flat brush. So this technique works for me, and I feel like it gets my brows like really sharp. So I've just been working with it ever since. And I do everybody brows like this. And sometimes when people see me doing like this, they're like, how you do brows with a flat brush like this? I'm like, I don't know, I just been doing it for so long. But this technique's work for me, y'all. So that's what you should see me doing. I'm just starting, put my concealer close to the brow and going back and just getting it as close to the sketch and just pulling it up. So I'm blending out the top of my brows with a MAC 270 brush. It's a little bit denser than that Zooeva brush. It's like a little mini foundation brush, but you can use this one for concealers. It works really good with concealers. I like to use it for I really like to use it on my brows and eyeshadow bases, really. I don't use it for under my eyes, but it works really good on brows and eyeshadow bases. So I'm just filling in the tail of my brow again because some concealer got on it. But this is it for the brow tutorial, y'all. Let me know if y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one.